Greetings of love and peace. This is your Sir Jasper, and welcome to Virtual English 2.0. For today, we'll talk about critical reading for thinking and reasoning. Particularly, we aim to discuss what is critical reading in simple words, why is it important to critically read written texts, and how do we analyze written materials in 3 steps. First, let's define critical reading. Critical reading is like dissecting a reading material. If you are interested in science, the word dissecting is not a new word for you because you get to encounter this term when you experiment the anatomy of animals. For example, when you dissect a frog, you have to cut open the body parts of the frog to analyze its muscles, body structure, tissues, and the like. The same is true when you critically read a material. When you read a text about NCOV, for instance, you don't just read to know the meaning of NCOV. You ask a lot of questions about the material, like why did NCOV happen, or how did it happen, or what should have been done to curb this epidemic. That's how you critically read. You ask numerous questions. Now, why is it important to critically read every text? Because once this method is practiced and this reading skill is developed, you're challenged to think deeply by reasoning out and justifying for your thoughts, ideas, and decisions. You do not only read for entertainment like what you do when you just read a Wattpad series. In critical reading, you get to read between and beyond the lines by questioning the material. That's why, for you students, it's very important to both analyze the content and context of the text in order to make its meaning more alive. So, if that's the scenario, then how do we critically read? According to Curl in 2010, there are 3 steps in analyzing a text. First, what a text says. Second, what a text does. And third, what a text means. Let's start with the first step, what a text says. Here, you're only asked to identify what is the main topic in the text. Thus, you may either or both use skimming and scanning to achieve this goal. But what is the difference between skimming and scanning? Both reading strategies actually require you to read an article very fast. That's why it's called fast reading. However, your purpose there in scanning is to only identify specific information like what is the date, who wrote it, who are the characters, etc. On the other hand, for skimming, you have to identify what is the main topic or main point in the article. For example, after you skim the whole article, you may say that the text talks about NCOV or novel coronavirus and its dangers to the world as a whole. So, to identify what a text says, let's use an excerpt from the text titled People We Met by Edward R. Kinsella. And here is how it goes. Okay? There are people who do something good because they want to protect their wealth. Others because they want to safeguard their name and enhance their social status. These are the do-gooders. We've seen them in reformatories, orphanages, jails, and hospitals during Christmas or times of calamity. And we see them on the society pages of metropolitan dailies. Okay? So let's have the first step of text analysis. What a text says. What is a text telling us? The text talks about people who are opportunists. That's it. That's how you answer the question, what a text says. Now let's have the second one. Second is what a text does. Here, you have to determine how the writer discussed the main topic. Did he give examples, reasons, and conclusions? How did he use those to assert a point? Again, let's use the sample piece that we have read a while ago. Okay, we have here. What is the text all about? The text talks about people who are opportunists. But how did he discuss it? Did he provide examples? Yes, and he did it by presenting types of opportunists. First, we have those who only do good because they want to protect their wealth. Others, they want to safeguard their name and enhance their social status. So there are three types. And he also presented where we can find these kinds of people. We have from orphanages, from reformatories, jails, hospitals, okay, and also on the society pages of metropolitan dailies. So that's how you discuss the second step. In the first step, you just identify the topic, but in the second step, you identify how the text discuss the topic. Okay. Lastly, what a text means. This is the highest level of reading because you have to analyze and interpret the message. In the text we read, we do not simply identify the topic and how the text discuss the topic, but we also evaluate we also evaluate it in different aspects such as the content, objectivity, significance, and many more. So let's go back to the text. Here we examine the article by asking if there are facts presented here. Is there any statistics? No. Did the writer present the other side of the point? No. Is it grammatically correct? Is it semantically, syntactically correct? No. Sorry, yes. It should be yes. Did he use proper vocabulary? Is this really happening in the status quo? Those are just a few questions we have to ask to assess the text. Okay, so overall, there are three steps of text analysis. We have to identify what a text says, what a text does, and what a text means. So that wraps our lesson for today's virtual lesson. I hope you learned a lot in this online discussion. And if you have any question, you may write it in the comment section below, and we'll answer those in the classroom. And before you end the video, I hope that you don't forget to like and subscribe to be updated with the newest or to the next lessons about reading and writing. So this has been Jasper Silva, sending you pure love and gems of knowledge from the Pearl of the Orient Seas. See you next meeting. Goodbye.